the champs is in, champion. We want back ends, back in. Wipe my sins, wipe it. They can't win, they can't win.
Hello again, everybody. It is the coach. You're tuned in to Madden 19 on EA Sports. On deck, we've got what should be a great matchup between the Detroit Lions and the New Orleans Saints. I'll have scores around the league for you at the half, but it's time for a little football. So we'll hand it over to our broadcast team, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
And, Coach, we are down on the bayou as you get a look inside the Mercedes-Benz Superdome here in New Orleans. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the Detroit Lions and the New Orleans Saints. Along with Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Godden. And, Charles, you look at this Saints team as they enter play. They come in riding high, just one loss in their last 7 games.
It's a very focused team, very disciplined. They've kept the penalties to a minimum, and they're winning football games.
Meanwhile, The calendar has turned to December, and we're in the home stretch now as we're underway in Week 13. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. So here are the Lions now coming out for their opening drive. At a glance at the man under center at 6'5", he always demands attention.
And what I enjoyed in preparing for this game was talking not just with the coaching staff, but with him as well. And I found it interesting that the coaching staff sees him one way, and he sees himself an entirely different way.
Yeah, one thing he said he's always working on, we know he's not bad at this, but his footwork, always wants to improve that, and that's something he's going to focus on here. And
what was so funny, what the offensive coordinator say right off the top, he's got great footwork. Love his footwork. So this guy is never satisfied. They've got good playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know what happened last week to really hurt their performance and hold down their production, but I would dare say that this week in practice, there's a lot of talk about how they're going to increase their proficiency.
And that was a good start, getting the playmakers involved. You mentioned that to me pregame. That's what they did there.
Yeah, I think a lot of people think the coaching staff really gets on them, and that's how they motivate them. Most of these guys are self-motivated. They have a lot of pride in their performance.
Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down. Running game working. They'll stick with it on first down. They'll fight forward for a couple down inside the 40.
Well, we saw them there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
He'll look to throw. Blitz coming, and down he goes. And, Charles, despite this list of key inactives that we see here, they've obviously still been pretty successful.
Give everyone credit for this one, because to me, when that happens, key guys are out, the next man steps up and plays well, but that starts with the organization itself, all the way through. No excuses for guys being out, finding guys.
And this is going to be intercepted. Picked off right around the 43. And he will take this one home. It's a touchdown. Make it back-to-back weeks now with a pick six for him. He had one a week ago.
Talk about being in the groove, and what are the odds of what we're seeing right here? You don't see it happen very often. Listen, if you get a pick six in a season, it's been a big year, let alone back-to-back weeks. I'll tell you this, I wouldn't play cards against this guy in the locker room.
No problem there on the extra point. And that makes the score 7-0. So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick six. And now the kick is away. That's fielded in the end zone. And he'll elect not to return this one, so they'll bring it out to the 25 on the touchback. And Detroit getting set to go now. And last time, decent field position through the pick six. Obviously costly.
But they can't afford to just bunker in now. All right? Good field position means go ahead and attack on offense. Try and press the advantage a little bit. They just have to be better with the football on this possession.
So the last one didn't bother you too much last time?
No, because it's exactly what you're supposed to do. You can't have good field position and not try to take advantage of it. Sometimes the defense makes a good play, too.
Good job there keeping him to a short gain. Of course, he's coming off a really terrific performance, reigning NFC Defensive Player of the Week.
And I know people get caught up in, well, if you're the reigning Defensive Player of the Week, you must have made a bunch of spectacular plays. Like you mixed in a few of those, but most of the plays are just like we saw there. Keep them to short gains, make the fundamental tackle.
Out of the gun now on third down. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And he's able to take this one up to the 35-yard line. Just a 5-yard pickup, and it leads to fourth down.
Well, we hear so often how tackling has become almost a lost art in the NFL game. But it's so important to tackle well on these receivers, especially in a play like this one. Third down, they gave him the underneath stuff. You got to go and make the tackle right away.
Good blocking there, nearly sprung him. As it is, it'll go as a 19-yard return. And the Saints will take over with a first down and 10. The fourth down run successful. Now they look to pay it off on first down. They'll run it now out of the gun. And not a whole lot doing there as he'll get it up to about the 28-yard line. A gain of 3, second down.
What's the old expression, 3 yards in a cloud of dust? In this case, it's dust-covered pellets. It's no longer that old grass that we used to play on, right, and chew it up. Now we've got that artificial surface. You see the pellets go up.
And he can't find anywhere to go with it, and he goes down.
2 plays so far, a run and a pass attempt, and both have gone backwards.
Probably not how they drew that up.
Not at all.
Looking for a better play coming up on third. Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. Forced out to his left. And he'll go down just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line. He opted to go with a scramble, gets 2 yards, and now it's 4th.
And, partner, I would guess that in his headset he was hearing from his coach, it's 3rd down, don't take a sack. And in this case, he's able to avoid the pressure and get out of there. He doesn't get the 1st down, but he does turn a possible loss into positive yardage.
They go play action here on 1st down. And Olsen over the middle. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. He got 29 yards that time.
I know many people like to throw to the tight end, maybe in a little flexed out position because he creates mismatches with his size. But slot receivers do the same thing with their quickness, their speed, and their route running savvy.
So in Saints territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 48-yard line. And before they can get settled in here, time expires on the 1st quarter of action. 7-0 is our score. EA Sports NFL Sunday returns following this.
The NFL on EA Sports is presented by Snickers.
Here with Charles Davis, Brandon Gaudin, as the Lions are in possession of the football here to begin quarter number 2, and they've got it here with a 1st down. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. And they'll go with a ground attack here. And he picks up about 6 as he gets this down to the 41.
Let's talk a little football 101 here, because one of the keys to advancing the ball downfield, success on 1st down. Huge difference, as we know, between 2nd and 4 and 2nd and 8 and 9.
Play action, they'll throw. And he's taken down here by the Saints. These strong safeties, some people may not realize it. It's really like an extra linebacker, right?
It really is, because they're hybrids. Half linebacker, half defensive back. The linebacker in him on that play emerged.
From the midfield strike, they'll look to throw. And now look at him go. And he'll score. Touchdown, New Orleans. And remember, this is the #1 defense in the National Football League. There's a good example of why.
Shows that they set an aggressive tone, not just stopping the run, not just getting after the quarterback, but the ball's in the air. They treat it like they're the receivers, and they went after that one and took it all the way.
No going for 2. They'll kick the point after. Extra point right down the middle, and it's now 14-0. So they throw the pick 6. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Here comes the field general leading his offense back out there for the next possession. He and his team, they have had a rough go of it here in this first half. Maybe time for him to put his foot down here in the second quarter.
Put his foot down and become a little more accurate throwing the football. He's already thrown 2 interceptions. He's trying to find a way to equal things out. And instead of it going to the opponents, get it to his own receivers and find the end zone.
Yeah, you mentioned it. And he's going to be grabbed and pulled down.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he goes across the 20 to the 22. 4 yards on the pickup there, and now they'll have to contend with a 3rd and 13.
And that's one of the reasons you like to blitz even on rundowns. It confuses the blocking assignments. It doesn't allow those offensive linemen to get up to the second level.
They'll set up to throw. And for the 3rd time here in this half, it's intercepted. Picked off at the 38. And his guys are going to get the football at the 37-yard line. Well, that's 3 picks he's now thrown in this game.
And I know this, the holiday season, because here we are in
Season
December.
of giving.
Right, it is the season of giving. Maybe for his own sake after the game, he may have to announce that he's donating certain amounts to charity for each interception that he threw.
A nice run there, 9 yards, and it'll be 2nd down.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
And he'll get this one down to about the 27.
Well, we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
Watch it now, Barney!
Now they'll run it on the toss. And he will lose yardage here to the 31-yard line. He loses 4, and it brings up 4th.
I know when I was a kid, I always got real excited when I saw those lateral-type runs. But the best backs that made it happen, they put a foot in the ground and just go. That didn't happen there. That play got swallowed up.
They got the interception, but very little movement after, and that forces him to settle for 3. And it does feel like settling when that happens, doesn't it?
It certainly does, but we got to give a lot of credit where it's due, and that's to the defense because they ran onto the field. It's what we call sudden change, right? Interception, you got to go put out the fire, and they did, holding them to a field goal.
Here again comes the captain of this offense leading his crew back out there now. And I guess the question, Charles, is what's the... So out now come the Lions. They're sort of seeing themselves spiral out of control. Let's see if they can get things back on track.
And this is where the coach is walking.
And the Saints pressure gets him. Brought down for a sack. 2 minutes remain here in the first half. A reminder, once we hit halftime, as we do all season, we'll send it down to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. He'll have all the stats and scores from games in progress around the NFL.
The best multitasker in the business, the coach.
Finding his safety valve here. That's complete. And he gets it here to right around the 24 before he's out of bounds. 5 yards on the pickup, and that's going to lead to a 3rd and 11. Looked like a pretty good, safe play right there. No, he's had trouble with the interceptions in this game there. Hits his guy out in the flat.
Yeah, so many times we hear quarterbacks and offensive coordinators talk about in your progressions, you're either throwing the touchdown or you're throwing the check down. But earlier in the game, it was touchdown or interception. Now he got to the check down, a nice safe throw, and a good one.
Here comes the Saints punter now, as he'll kick it away for the 2nd time. This will be fielded at the 17. 21 yards. Well done on the return. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. Meanwhile, on the NFL scoreboard, a game going on in Chicago. Early on, it's the Vikings in the driver's seat. That'll be a game to monitor as we go along. The 4th down run successful. Now they look to pay it off on 1st down. Now a play fake here on 1st down. Now he'll throw deep left side. And it's knocked away and incomplete.
Well, that certainly looked like something that they discussed all week in practice getting ready for this one. Take the big shot right out of the gate. At worst, you'll open up the defense a little bit, loosen them up, have them back on their heels.
Back to throw now on 2nd and 10. Wide open receiver complete. And he'll work it across midfield inside the 45. They call it a gain of 19, and it moves the chains. And a good quarterback facing zone coverage. If he has just a little bit of time to survey the scene, that's what's going to happen.
No doubt about it. If there's no pressure, he's going to continue to pick them apart because they have all that time to find someone open downfield. You can only cover for so long. So maybe they want to go to a zone blitz scheme, get a little bit more pressure. Remember when Carolina did that against Denver? They lost the game ultimately. They dropped the defensive end out, and he ended up with an interception in that game in Super Bowl 50. Maybe some sort of scheme like that to try and get more pressure about the passer.
And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. Now before this 2nd down play, we'll get whistles and a timeout, as they'll stop it with 13 seconds to play in half number 1. And they'll go on the ground. And this is going to result in losing yardage. They're driven back to the 8-yard line. Now a timeout taken. Perhaps a chance for one more quick play and then another timeout if they hurry. We'll see. Back to throw here. And he'll score. Touchdown, New Orleans. It's their quarterback in the final seconds of the first half. And the Saints now add 6 to their lead. The extra point splits the uprights.
And that's a lead that excites a team as they head into the half. Good way to finish things off.
Yeah, able to extend that lead, and you always say it, that can totally change the complexion of half number 2.
Yeah, it changes your morale, changes your outlook. But even before that, let's see if they decide to kind of squib kick or what they're going to do on the kickoff, because you don't want to give up a big play right before the half ends.
Good point. Likely time for one final snap as they start out 1st and 10. And with time running short here, they'll simply take a knee, and that should do it for half number 1. All right, hang on. We'll jump over halftime. Set now to go for the 3rd quarter. The Saints have the lead and set to receive the kick. That'll be taken in the end zone. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. Out come the Saints now. They'll go on offense first here to begin the 3rd quarter. They built a good first half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spend the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half. Nice first half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the second half.
See how they handle any adjustments that might be made defensively. Off the play fake, he'll look to throw. Going for the deep ball. This is caught inside the 15. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, New Orleans. A big play there. His 11th touchdown of the year. And the Saints are pouring it on. Well, you know he can be explosive, and he's ultra-explosive there on the fly route.
And you know how many times we've talked to coaches and we've had quoted back to us, well, you know something? When you execute really well, it doesn't matter if they know it's coming or not. Well, sometimes athleticism beats you as well. He just took off and went. That's almost like one of your Turkey Bowl games, isn't it? Just go long,
Backyard.
man. I'll hit you. And it worked really well for them.
That's fielded in the end zone. And he'll elect not to return this one, so they'll bring it out to the 25 on the touchback. So we get a look at the Lions offense as they get ready for their first possession of the second half. They're down in this game. A chance for the offense, though, to put something on the board, get some momentum here in half 2.
Try and get things kick-started for them. And you know at the half, they discussed how they were going to get that done. This is
He's got a man complete. Past the 20. And he will be marked down inside of New Orleans 10. It's a big play there for the Lions. 69 yards. Well, even after all those interceptions, he's not deterred, still confident to go deep at work there.
I think all the old rules about playing that position still apply. If things go wrong, you still act like you're the best player out on the field. You still carry that supreme arrogance with you and continue to fire the ball. I've seen guys have games like this, and this is where you find out if you're great or not. Can you overcome some interceptions and still lead your team to victory?
It'll be a 3-yard gain, so it's still 1st and goal, but now they get to try from a bit closer.
All right, here we go. 3-19.
They'll give it to him right up the gut. And he's going to get this back to the 3-yard line and no further. They'll say no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd and goal.
I don't know about you, Brandon, but I often think to myself, in these situations, I want a back who can create his own space, who can break tackles, and in a sense, become his own blocker. We don't have that guy in the game right now.
That'll be a loss of a yard, and it leads to a 3rd down. He already has 2 sacks to his credit, now another tackle for loss.
And you know how you can always identify who is supposed to block him? The other one's helping up.
And that is caught. Touchdown, Detroit. In for the score. And the Lions are able to cut into this lead. And all about timing there on that short slant, Charles.
Exactly right. That was timed up so well. The route, the throw, touchdown.
Point after, right down the middle. And that will get him one closer. This is fielded at the goal line. Gets around him. And with a marker down, he's up just past the 25-yard line, but I think they're going to be going backwards. Let's check the call.
Illegal block in the back. Return team.
Yeah, this is going to put him back with a not great field position.
So they really got zero benefit at all, right? Sometimes you can absorb a penalty when you get a big return. Then the penalty brings it back, but you still have great field position. As you pointed out, not in this case.
And he'll take this one up over the 20 to the 21-yard line. Call it a gain of 4 on 1st, and that'll make it 2nd down.
Tough first half for him, unable to put up the numbers he's used to producing. But with a guy like him, you and I both know it just takes a couple of explosive touches for him to make an impact on this game and on the stat sheet as well.
Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. And a quick throw here, that's complete. And he's able to get up here to the 26. That catch good for 5. It's 3rd down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
And he picks up the 1st before he's taken down at the 29. They only get 2 there, but on 3rd and 1, that's all they needed to keep the drive going. In the first half, he was held in check on the ground, but despite that lack of production, they still have the lead.
Yeah, and they've got to feel fortunate about that.
It's caught inside the 25. And he does take it in for the touchdown, but a flag on the field, and I don't think this is going to stand.
Yeah, don't put the points on the board just yet.
Holding offense.
Brutal, so take away the long touchdown.
It's a cruel game sometimes, partner.
They're backed up here with a 1st and 20 now after the holding penalty. The play action fake. They'll look to throw. And the Lions pressure too strong. Down he goes. So after the sack, a scenario you certainly don't work on too often. 2nd and 24. He'll look to throw. And the pressure gets to him again. And here comes throw number 1 for the backup QB. He's going to fire one deep into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 45, and they will set up shop at their own 46-yard line. They needed a break. They needed to make a play here in the third quarter. Defensively, they did that. Now they got to go quickly and get some points on the board.
And the best part is that they made their own break. Taking the ball away. Now they just look at their offense and saying, guys,
let's go.
Come on, capitalize on this one.
Here we go.
They'll try and start this drive in the air. And it's a short one here, complete to the tight end. And he'll get it out to midfield. Looks like, yeah, they'll spot it right at midfield at the 50.
And, partner, I think that was a great example that not all tight ends are created equal. Because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
And he's got room. The 20. Pushing his touchdown, Detroit. A great play there. His 5th touchdown now on the year. And thanks to the interception, the Lions offense cashes in with 6. And on that long run, maybe the defense caught napping a little bit.
The concentration level may not have been there. I agree with you on that one, because those types of plays, when they result like that, they're almost like big bolts of lightning, aren't they? Whoosh, and off he goes.
Well, it's still an uphill battle from here, that's for sure, but that makes it a 2-score game.
And now we see why teams practice so much on the 2-point conversion, why you have more than one play ready, because you may need multiples throughout a ball game. Here's a great example right there.
They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. And it's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
Well, I guess we just discovered that someone is certainly not going to sit back and just take it in this game, huh?
No, they were trying to get that touchdown back in one shot.
One shot, trying to help out his defense and let the other team know they were coming after him.
And he gets this one just shy of the 40, down at the 39. 12 yards there as they move the chains. It's the Saints. They'll be looking to expand their lead here. They've got the football as we start the 4th. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. Here's a play fake as they set up to throw. Going up top. He's got it at the 15. And he'll take it into the end zone for the Saints touchdown. A big play there. His 2nd touchdown of the game, giving him 12 on the season. And the Saints add on to their lead. And his kick is right through. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Now the Lions offense, they get ready to head back out there. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before, because that worked.
Under a heavy rush, and down he goes.
We've been around this league for a while, and many coaches never pull their starting quarterback, almost no matter the situation. In this case, though, I think he's got to make a decision. He's taking a pretty good beating out there.
Yeah, and with the deficit, maybe not wanting to risk an injury. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked off at his own 10. And now he's got him in a great spot at the 8-yard line here, 1st and goal. Just a little bit of a rough stretch. 6 interceptions now in these last 2 weeks combined.
I know the easy thing is to go back to mechanics, footwork, things of that nature. I'm also wondering, is he getting fooled by what he's seeing on defense? Has the scouting report changed? Are they showing him things different than what he expected? For the 2nd week in a row, he's throwing it to the guys in the wrong color shirts.
Yeah, he better figure, whatever the reason is, he better figure it out. And the ball smack dab on the 5-yard line. Here's 2nd and goal. They'll give it to him up the middle. And he gets him a little bit closer. He takes it from the 6 inside the 5 to the 4.
That run didn't get very far, and I think when you're looking at his dimensions, he's a little bit on the smaller side. He's counting on the big guys up front to escort him in, and they couldn't create any kind of space for him, could they?
Yeah, didn't get the push they needed. The Saints on 3rd down, 2 for 5 to this point. This is 3rd and goal. Now they'll run it on the toss. And he is in for the score. Touchdown, New Orleans. A great effort there. His 21st touchdown of the season. And the Saints take advantage of field position on the turnover to cash in for 6. Extra point right down the middle. And that will extend this big lead. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And he'll elect not to return this one, so they'll bring it out to the 25. So the Lions offense ready to go back out onto the field. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack him here. They'll look to throw here. And he's taken down here by the Saints.
That right now, that's a defeated team out there. I think you can see it totally in their body language.
Hands on hips, heads low. It's just been a struggle from the start.
Yeah, this team has been thoroughly beaten right from the word go.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And a short pickup there as he'll take this up to right around the 20. Just a 1-yard pickup there, and it'll be 4th down. Here comes the Lions punter now. As the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. Pulled in at the 24. A good return there, 17 yards. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. There again is the running back as he trots onto the field. He is fully awake now. If he didn't get off to the start that he normally does, they've got his attention. He's running it well.
You think they set off the alarm clock at the half? You think that's what went down? I know this, having played on the defensive side of the ball, if you do a really good job against a great runner, and you go into the half, you're excited, you're fired up, you think the game plan is working, but in the back of your head, there's that little bit of nagging doubt. Can we do this for 4 quarters? So far, that's not happening.
Now they'll run it on the toss. Finding room inside the 40. And finally taken down at the 35-yard line. That burst good for 20 and a 1st down.
Do my eyes deceive me, or is he getting stronger as this game moves along?
Burst seems just as good here in the 4th as it was way back in the 1st, doesn't it?
I do believe someone put a lot of time in the offseason and continues to condition during the season in order to continue to carry the ball at this rate.
Now they'll run it on the toss. And past the 30 down to about the 27. Just what you want on a 1st down run. Call it 8 yards. And it's 2nd and 2. Well, they'll take that every time with a lead. 1st down, 4th quarter, getting 8 yards. You love that.
They will take it, and you have to ask the defensive guys, why did you give it? I mean, you know the situation. You're down, have to stop them, have to get the football back. But 8 yards on 1st down puts them back on their heels. I haven't met a defensive coordinator yet that thinks 2nd and 2 is a fun situation to try and defend. Playbook is wide open for an offense, partner.
Nice job. Hold him to 1 after that 8-yard pickup on 1st down. And not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. And they'll go ground game here with a tailback. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. It'll be a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd and 11.
So, Brandon, when this offense gathers together to watch tape for this game, they're going to be feeling pretty good about themselves until the coaches get upset about the play we just saw. But you know their defense is going to be, but we put up big points all game long. The defense is going to win one every now and then.
That one good for 17 yards, and now they've got it 1st and goal.
That's how you get right up off of the mat, because on the last play, they stoned him in the backfield and dropped him for a loss. But he's the type of guy that scared me a little bit because he's not daunted. Just got right back up, showed some confidence, and picked up a 1st down with his very next run.
He'll get it up the middle. A pickup of 4 on 1st down. It'll be 2nd and goal. When we talk about being on schedule, I think they're on schedule after that run, getting it right down there on the doorstep.
Maybe even a little bit ahead, because now the defense can't dictate with pressure. They're guessing about where you're going to go, I might come right back at them with the same play, the same set, and see if they can stop them.
Well, they've been so good on third down all day long. Can they convert another here on third? And they're going to score again. Yet another touchdown as they just add to their totals. I tell you, Charles, you play to the final whistle, I get that, but there are a few folks that might not be too happy with that score late in the game with it already well in hand.
You seem a little squeamish about that last score.
I struggle with it. I struggle. But on the other, the argument, I get it, on the other side is, hey, do something about it. Stop them.
I'll guarantee you, I know who was really excited. Fantasy owners who had them. Hey, listen, get the points for me. They're not worried about hurt feelings or anything like that. That's just new age stuff.
This is taken about 7 yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line.
Set! Green, 39!
They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. And the Saints pressure gets him. Brought down for a sack. Well, they're in some hot water now. After that sack, it's